Hi and welcome to the farm. Last week we did a video on one of your questions, the 3 biggest realities of marrying a farmer. And we got such a great interaction with you all in the Rural Mum community here online that today we're going to go back over some of those tips, tricks and hacks, as well as jumping into some recipes and exploring those comments. So come along with me. Now, when I told my husband that I would be sharing some recipes with you all today, he laughed and laughed and laughed. And that is mainly because, for those who do not know, I actually collect cookbooks, but I use them as inspiration and I am not very good at following a recipe. And the reason for that is because I do what I used to call just shopping my pantry or using my fridge, but now I hear there is an actual term for it and it's called shelf cooking, and that was coined by Jordan Page for Fun Cheaper Free, who's an American who has the most beautiful family Instagram page and YouTube world. So I'll tag her down below, as well as her new cookbook that she has released. It's a fantastic cookbook because it actually has a whole section dedicated to swapping out ingredients, to staples that you should have in your actual pantry and fridge as a go-between. And some of those that I use actually include some of your long-term storage items like canned tuna, your flowers, your legumes, all of that sort of thing. So that is a fantastic book, and I'll add the link to her cookbook in the description below. Another cookbook that I really recommend is actually, it's a new one as well from a fellow YouTuber, and her name is Lisa Bryant, and she has Downshiftology here on YouTube, and I love her style of meal prep. It's not the traditional meal prep, and some of her videos are done by season, as in seasonal. So she's got a summer meal plan, a winter meal plan, a spring meal plan, and a winter meal plan, and they are fantastic. They are based on prepping several ingredients that you store in your fridge so that you're not eating the same meal over and over again for that week. What you are doing is using those prepped ingredients to make multitude of recipes. And that's another way that I like to cook. I like to have, my boiled eggs in the fridge, ready to go, my avocados, tomato, onions, anything like that, which I can just grab and I can either throw on some rice cakes or I can make a salad with, mix things together really quickly. I've got a great diverse range of food for the week, anything that can be made once prepped in under 10 minutes. So that's perfect. And that goes as well with your quick pasta dishes. So here during the summer and autumn months, we are going flat bicky processing a lot of our harvest, whether that's especially our tomatoes. So a lot of our tomato pastes, our tomato sauces, our tomato relishes, it's all prepped and ready to go. So when I'm cooking my pasta and my veggies, what I'm doing is I'm actually getting the one bowl, I'm popping the veggies in it, I'm bringing it up to boil, I'm adding my pasta to it, I'm using one pot, I'm getting everything I need cooked, hot and ready in that bowl, and that takes around 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm just adding either the sauce through it, some cheese through it, or also if I want to get really bougie, I might add some extra protein, some nuts, some dukkha, anything else on top to mix it up to include those different flavors and anything that's really good for that. Now, another cookbook that I did want to mention here for those who were asking for recipes, who were asking for my favorite books and things to follow, and that is the Encyclopedia Cookbook. I think it's called the Cook's Encyclopedia, actually. I will link it below as well. It is a fantastic book. I have given it to people for their 18th, for their 21st, for their 25th. It's really versatile, especially if they're moving out of home or they're moving to a farm. What it's really great for is actually that it goes through your home basics. So I don't buy mayonnaise anymore. I don't buy salad dressings because this book actually teaches you how to make it from scratch, really fresh, with the ingredients that you've probably got in your pantry. So, anything that has citrus, oils, anything like that, eggs from the farm, from the chicken coop, you can make a lot of these recipes yourself. Some of them I will add in the comment section below, and it is fantastic to have on hand. So they are the recipes that I wanted to go over, the cookbooks that I wanted to go over. And now I'm just going to pick up my list and we're going to go through some of the comments that I thought I would discuss as well, apart from those discussions on cooking. So my number one favorite answer that came through last week on our poll and our discussions from last week's video was actually from a female Rural Mums member, and he has married a farmer, and he said that what he needs to realize in the reality of his farming is that his wife is smarter than him, she is more beautiful than him, and she can do much better than him. And that is why he agrees with his wife, and that is why he just goes along with it, because you know what, she's probably right. And I really loved that, because that takes a lot to accept. And whether it is you've married a male farmer or you've married a female farmer, those roles are very much interchangeable in that saying, like, yep, they are very doable, they are go-ho great workers, and a lot of the time sometimes we just need to agree with them, because they probably are right in the long term of things as well, which is hard to admit sometimes. So one of the other comments that we had was around that you have kids, and sometimes that's really hard to make the kids and yourself very flexible in logistical changes. So plans change at the drop of a hat, at a millisecond, and we need to adapt to that. And so some of the comments that have come through, and some of the things that I apply in our general life as well with that, is that, yep, we've covered meal prep, yep, we've covered really quick recipes, but other elements to that is also have you go bag. So we've just talked on this channel before about a go bag, so I'll add that here. And having those things ready to go really helps with logistics. Trying to get the kids in the car or in the buggy and down the paddock can be much easier when you've got a go bag, and when you've also got your staples in the vehicle that you need, like snacks and everything else. So that shortens the period between trying to get everyone ready, everyone organised, and everyone down the paddock. Now, the other thing that I wanted to chat in this space is also one of the suggestions that came through, which I'm sure will help a lot of other rural mums, and that is sometimes kid sharing. Now, let me explain this to you. So what it is if you have another mum in your mum's group or at school or in the same sporting competition, you can sometimes share kids. Now what that means is that, say, my son and their son are doing the same footy training or the same soccer training, I would pick up their kid from school and take them to soccer training. And then I might drop them home, or the other mum might pick them up, and that frees them up to be able to do other logistical movements with other kids, with the farm, those sorts of types of things. Now, another thing that's quite good that's along similar lines is meal sharing. So if I have Wednesdays where I'm predominantly at home and I'm going to go to footy training, and someone else has picked my kids up from school and taken them to footy training, what I might do is a meal replacement instead. So I will cook 3 to 4 meals, and instead of sharing them, instead of keeping them in the fridge or freezer for our use later on, what I might do is take those down to the footy field and give to those other families who have helped me with my logistics and my kids at footy, so that they don't have to cook that night. So that's freed up time for them, and them taking my son to footy training has freed time up for me. So there are the tips that may help along the way. Again, if you have any other insights, anything else that might help, jump on and comment in the section below. And if you would like more interactive, more day-to-day interactions, join us on our Instagram feed. We'd love to see you over there as well. So until next time.